get closer to ya. Tell me how and I'll do it, babe. Cause I just wanna make you feel we do it back.
What's up, guys? It's Dre with Overland Tundras. Today we're here with Franco and Dante. Dante is with McNish Automotive, and we are working on my personal vehicle, which is a 2015 Tundra. We are installing sliders. So these are white knuckle sliders. We have Dante here. He's going to explain to us or talk a little bit about how this installation is going to go and what all we need. So Dante, tell us a little bit about this install and what we're going to need.
All right, well, the first thing before you do anything is always safety. So we want to definitely have some safety glasses because we're going to be drilling into the frame. As far as drill bits, you're going to need a 1/2-inch drill bit. Mainly, I like to use a step drill bit as well, just in case if I have to go a little bit over what they're trying to, say for the size drill bit that I need or the size hole that I'm trying to drill. It's good to have a C-clamp too, because you want to be able to have everything tight against the frame as you're trying to drill it. One thing I always watch out for on these trucks is wire harnesses. When you're drilling into the frame on the driver's side, there's a series of wire harness that goes behind there. You want to look at what you're doing before you do anything. We're going to go over not just tools, installation process, where you need to drill at, how long it takes and stuff like that. As far as time, I try to gauge maybe an hour per side. It doesn't always have to take that long, but you don't want to rush on this install because you don't want to have to do it twice. And these things are pretty heavy and pretty beefy, so it's definitely going to stand up to some abuse. With that being said, let's get to the video. So right now we got the slider basically just mocked up. One thing you want to look for is you got brake lines back here. So I always just take them out of the clips. I got new clips to pop them in. We're going to be drilling through the frame from the bottom, but something can happen. So you got to, you don't want to hit any of the brake lines themselves. So I just, just bend them out the way because you can bend them back. But for these sliders, we go through the bottom for everything as far as mounting. Just get it mounted up, mark your lines, drill your pilot holes, then drill a 1/2-inch bit through and get your 3/4-inch ratchet and a socket. You can tack them all down and you'll be good to go. On the Crewmax, you don't have to drill through the frame on the side. They give you basically like a spacer / washer, just a bigger one, and you got your bolt. So all you have to do is just come through the back end. We'll just go through this one. See, it's already ready for us. So we'll come through, and then as far as this one, I just try to make it flat as possible, a little even. When you first start, I don't tighten anything in the middle yet, because again, we're going to be drilling, so you don't want to tighten anything down except for the beginning or the end, just so it wouldn't move. I mean, right now this thing is pretty much sturdy. If you're doing this on the ground, it's best to just jack the truck up so you can have enough room, and use floor jacks to brace it. If you're doing it by yourself, just don't rush it. I know a lot of people, you're trying to drill something and hold something at the same time. If you're doing it by yourself, bolt it down to the truck by bolting the beginning and the ending bolts only. That way it's secure, it's not gonna move, because if you move too close to the forward, you have the rivet right there, that'll be in your way, and if you move too far, you have this one. So you gotta fight with it a little bit just to get it lined up, but again, once you snug these two bolts down, the beginning and the end, you have enough room to pretty much do whatever you want to. It's not gonna shift again, but don't tighten anything else in the middle. You can get them started, but don't tighten. So the next step, we're gonna drill these through, and then once we do that, we'll show you how it's done, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so we're on the last bit. We got the sliders installed, we got the hose drilled, everything's mocked up. But you're gonna notice in your kit, you're gonna have these two. Don't freak out, definitely don't throw them away because you're gonna need them. So what happens on the Toyota Tundras, basically you have to slide this back in here in order for it to sit right here. It's basically gonna sit on top of the other end for the bolt to screw through. And you do the same for the one on the side. So the last two bolts that you have to hold these sliders in, that's what these for, because you won't be able to get your hand back there or anything unless you move the fuel tank out the way. So they make this a little painless to say, hey, you just slide it in here and you push it along the way, along the frame, and it'll go pretty much where you need it to go. So
There it is.
all right.
Would you look at that?
And I always take it and I cut it. Wait till you actually done, like everything's tight, test fitted. You don't have to cut it immediately, but you can cut this pretty much wherever you want it at. For right now, it's not going to get in the way of anything, but I just wouldn't leave it fully extended. So at some point, when you finish the last one, you definitely want to cut it. And if you come right through here, you're going to get the last one done.
Keep going, keep going. Right there. And we're in. So Dante, tell us, how did this install go?
And this install was pretty simple and straight to the point. You do have to watch out for where you're drilling at. It's always good to look behind the frame to see before you do any drilling, just to make sure you don't hit any brake lines, because you have brake lines running along the frame rail on this side, and when you're drilling in the upward position, you can puncture one of them on either side. On the driver's side, we took off the parking brake cable towards the rear. You don't have to, but it's good just to move it out of your way while you're trying to line, get everything aligned. It's probably a good idea to have a couple extra drill bits of the 1/2 inch, maybe 2 to 3 of them. We did go through 2, to say the least. The frame on these trucks are pretty strong and pretty heavy duty, so trying to drill through, you're gonna end up eating up your bits. So that's one thing to keep in mind. We didn't end up using the C-clamp because it was basically 2 people, so we were able to hold it in place. But if it's just one person, it's a good idea to use that because you can basically get the sliders to lay flat before you start screwing them in. As far as the time, I say maybe 90 minutes at least to install it, and that's because of the drilling process. Once you drill the 5 holes at the bottom on each part of the sliders, it's pretty much smooth sailing from there. So as long as you can get through that, wear some protective gear so you don't get metal shavings on your face and your eye. It does hurt. Other than that, pretty solid. This thing is ready to hit the trails. Heavy duty sliders.
All right, guys, so again, you heard the pros, the cons, what you need to get these installed. They are White Knuckle Off-Road, awesome company. We'll put all the information on the description. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. Any mechanical questions, any install questions, and we'll see you on the next install.